Hello, welcome back, listeners, to the Echo Podcast. Today we have a very special celebration and sad episode because our guest here will be our Editor-in-Chief Layla McMurtrie as she signs off as Editor-in-Chief after serving a very decorative time at the Echo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello,
Hi.
Layla.
Hi, Jordan. How are you?
Good. How does it feel?
Definitely sad. Also, part of me is ready to do different things in life and move on, but definitely has been a big part of my life for a long time.
Yeah. So how about we take it back to when you started?
Okay.
When did you get onto the Echo, join onto the Echo, and why?
Well, I did journalism in high school, and I kind of decided like my junior or senior year that I wanted to study it in college. And right when I started my freshman year, which was September 2019 or August, that fall, I emailed the editor of the Echo and was like, hey, I would like to work for the Echo. I didn't even know it was paid. I just wanted some journalism experience. And then I came in the office and I met with, at the time, it was Austin Elliott. He was the managing editor. He went over an interview slideshow with me. Not really interview, but just kind of going over what the Echo was about. And I started writing music reviews because I was really into music, and that's what I did in high school. So I was mostly an opinions writer for the first couple of years.
Okay. And so the different sections that you went over, you made mention before of being the opinions writer, and now you're the editor-in-chief and writing news stories. What would you say your favorite part of being part of the Echo was, work-wise?
In all 4 years?
In all 4 years, work-wise.
Definitely the past year has been the best. I started as editor-in-chief in December 2021, but even last winter, winter 2022, we still weren't very engaged. I wasn't as engaged, and there wasn't as many editors that were engaged as now. It wasn't this family community vibe in the office with everyone. So this year has definitely been my favorite because of that, as well as just some of the stories I've done, all the different things I've learned, the working with people, helping grow things, the banquet, everything.
Okay. And can you remember some of your favorite articles or topics that you got to write about or cover?
I would say for this year, I got more into feature stories. Last year I started doing that, but that's kind of the thing I want to do now. But I think my favorite ones this year were probably the series I did on all the cultural organizations on campus, as well as the Women in Art one I did recently. It was really cool. But yeah.
Okay. And how do you feel that covering them changed or impacted anything? Because you got to document them.
Well, I think it's important to cover underrepresented groups, definitely, and just also a big reason I did that was just to engage with campus more. I feel if you're writing about people on campus, we should be covering the students, the teachers, the businesses, local and IPSI as well. That'll make people want to read our print edition more and be hey, I'm in the paper this week, pick it up, whatever. And then also I like when people are happy with what I wrote about them as well, because they're excited and I'm excited that I wrote it as well. And it helps me. Working at the Echo in general has helped me learn a lot more about the community, about Eastern's campus. Delivering the papers, I know every building on campus and have been in most of them because of that. And just also obviously learning about the news that's going on.
So the Echo was another way for you to be more involved on campus?
Yeah, and just in Ypsilanti,
in Ypsilanti in total.
But yeah, definitely involved on campus.
What do you think the best thing that you got involved with on campus-wise from the Echo? You got to see some of these shows that were across campus, the talent shows. I enjoyed the cultural shows.
Yeah, I definitely liked all the the event stuff. I got to go to a Governor Whitmer talk in IPSI, which is a super small room. And then also me and Aaron got free VIP passes to Mopop Festival last year. So that was fun. But like I said before, I don't think that's really the most important. I think really just engaging with the staff and the community in general has been important. And just I like that I've been able to do so many different things in media.
Mm-hmm.
podcast or like editing, working with people, social media managing. But I do think that like reporting is like the most fulfilling part.
Okay. And so we got to talk about some of your favorite aspects. How about we flip the coin and go to kind of what were the biggest issues
Okay.
with covering campus or just running the Echo in general?
Definitely like obviously COVID happened. So
Yes.
I mean, right before me was Juliana, and she kind of helped bring us out of COVID a little bit. But then after that, we still needed to grow more. Like people weren't engaged at all. Editors, writers, like campus, IPSY, like people weren't engaged with each other. And I think that was a big goal of mine, was just to get engaged more with campus.
Mm-hmm.
And also keeping consistent writers and consistent editors, people who like actually care about what they're doing and what we're doing at the Echo.
Yes.
I mean, that's still something that's hard for us, so I think that's something that we can still work on growing. I think that's the biggest like thing, because obviously we're a newspaper, we want to have as many writers to cover news. I remember like looking back at like the group chat we had before COVID, there was like 80 people in it, and I mean now it's probably like 40 maybe, probably not even that many, but it's around that. But even like, our biggest thing is news, and that's probably not our biggest section when it comes to writers, so that's what we need to grow the most.
Okay. And how do you think during your time serving that you have helped change that error kind of thing of making progress to change that?
Just like with having consistent writers and staff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say like definitely like what I was talking about with engaging with people. I mean, like I try to like create an environment that feels like people can talk to me about things. So I think that's a big thing. Like, you obviously need to have like the writing and editing skills and technical skills when being an editor, but you also need to have people skills, I feel like.
Yes.
So I think that's a big thing. And also just like doing more recruiting. I mean, like Eagle Fest, posting on Engage, social media,
The
that
paper
stuff. Like I
hats.
said, we still can grow in that area.
Yes.
But yeah, and then like also just hiring editors. I've definitely became a way better journalist since my freshman year. And I mean, like, all the writers that we have become better journalists here. Whether they're in a journalism major or not, like, I feel like
Yes.
writing is just helpful in any area of life or any career path that you're going into. Like, working for the Echo was a good experience in that.
Yes.
So, I mean, like, I definitely have, especially this semester, worked more one-on-one with writers. I'm having the editors, like, meet with each, like, person on their team once a month. We're trying to implement that so that we have like more one-on-ones with people, and people feel more comfortable to just come to their editor and like get help with their work. So I mean, that can also be a struggle too, because like some people have more experience than other people. Some people take feedback better than other people. Some people like are able to improve like super quickly, and other people need more help with like learning those things. So that's one thing. I really want to like create like training packets or like training slideshows more so to like give the Echo for like specific things like interviewing. Even I had a internship at the Detroit Free Press last summer, and I learned a lot from that, like how to look up public records and stuff. So that's like something I kind of would like to teach people.
Okay.
And just stuff like that. So that's one thing for sure, like implementing more trainings and guidelines for writers to improve them as journalists.
Okay. So can we talk about the skills that you kind of picked up and improved on while working here, especially regarding to like leadership and management?
I would say for leadership and management, making sure that like you're having a balance, like delegating tasks. Is like obviously sometimes like in my position I've had to like do multiple jobs at once if people aren't doing their job. But like I guess like learning or like sometimes if there's an article and like I think it's a really good topic, like I just want to do it myself because I want it to be perfect. I mean like but like I think it's important to like delegate things to people, and then like also like I said before, like having making the space comfortable for people to just talk to me about things, like about their writing and stuff like that, so that they are able to improve and not like be scared to ask questions or be scared to like mess up or anything like that. So I've definitely learned that, and I definitely was way more shy like when I first started as editor. And like, so I've definitely been a better communicator with the team and more like confident in that. And then also with interviews as well. I mean, that's not really leadership, but like with interviews, I've definitely learned how to like do better interviews, edit better, write better. I've learned, what else? A lot.
Okay.
But I can't think of it all right now.
Can we talk about patience and how important that is?
Patience is definitely important. I mean, like, kind of what I said before, like, some people can improve quickly and others can't. Not in, like, a bad way, but just, like, you know, other people have different experience or, like, different ability to, like, understand the feedback, basically, I guess. So patience is definitely a big thing because, I mean, like, in news, like, you have to be timely. Like, we need stuff to be done now. Yeah. So, like, it can be hard in that way to have patience as well because it's like, no, we just need this to be done. Like, sorry if you can't fix it, well, like, you're just going to fix it ourselves or, like, you know, we're not using it. Like, and we can't use it tomorrow because it's too late. Like, so, like, I guess that's part of it. Like, sometimes you can't have patience in news because, like, it's so timely. But, like, definitely, like, working with people, I have learned patience and, like, also, like, you know, not everybody does things as quickly as you want them to or, like, stuff like that.
Yes.
But, I mean, like, you can still work with people and, like, you know, hope that they improve those things.
What other aspects has the Echo added that is very important in the recent years?
I would say, like, this year especially, we've developed a lot more multimedia, which is obviously needed in, like, the new age of journalism and, like, with social media being a bigger thing and, like, digital journalism. We've also improved our print edition a lot, but I would say, like, the multimedia is probably the biggest thing.
Okay.
So, I would say, like, that wasn't completely me. Like, you know, I obviously, like, helped implement things and, like, set the base for things, but I mean, like, without you, the podcast wouldn't be what it is. Without Blake, the sports podcast wouldn't exist. So, like, I really think it's, like, been the team of people that we've gathered. But, yeah, our podcast has grown a lot. That's a big thing that we want to keep growing. Same thing, we have a sports podcast now. We kind of want to have more, like, creative arts music podcast. Me and Amira talked about that a long time ago, but we never really did it. And then our photography team, too. We're losing 2 of our best photographers that are graduating, but we have a lot of other good photographers.
For those who don't know, the 2 photographers that are also graduating with you will be
Jayla Ford and David Reyes.
Okay. And
they've both been with us for, like, a long time, probably a year and a half or longer, and they're, like, really great photographers for sure. Jayla, you know, got Photographer of the Year. She does a lot of sports and different things. So that's a big thing. We brought back, there used to be this, but since we didn't have a big team, we didn't have it. But we brought back a photo editor position, so, like, someone to just kind of manage the photo team. Not, like, edit the photos, but, like, basically manage the team of photographers and just kind of help assign them the photos in the beginning of the week.
Yes.
So that's something that we also added. We also started a TikTok, so Destiny does most of those, just on campus events and, like, different things. So that has been a big multimedia thing we've done consistently this year. And TikTok is obviously a big social platform right now. And then also just doing more video stuff as well on different platforms, doing our social media posts better. We just got new social media editors, so that's been going well. But yeah.
Okay. And so can we switch back over to the print?
Yes.
I know from the times that I've popped in, the energy being used to make that design as beautiful as we do every week. I've seen you guys been in here pretty late working.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that experience in general?
I would say that, like, Sunday night print design meetings are, like, the biggest part of working at the Echo for, like, the editors who come. I think, like, it's part of the culture of, like, being in a newsroom. And, I mean, especially, yeah, being here for, like, 12 hours. I mean, like, at least I am. Like, I come at, like, noon and we leave at, like, you know, midnight or later. Like, the last few we actually got done at, like, 10:30 somehow because we've just been grinding out. I've been like, I learned how to use InDesign this year. I didn't know how to use it, but I learned just from this position. I learned how to like design the print, which I really enjoy, so I hope I can do some designing stuff in the future. But definitely like we didn't have a print during COVID, during 2020, and then we just started back in fall 2021. And like that semester they weren't even coming in for print design, so like I think having multiple editors here like helping the designer, and like different people are switching, different people know how to design, different people are editing, like it's been a big help. Like, you know, we make sure like everything fits well, we have lots of different people looking over it. We're bringing it a little bit more places as well, like on campus and outside of campus. And yeah, like I was saying to like people recently, like my friends or my family might be like, oh, I hope you like aren't there too late tonight. And I'm like, when have I said I don't want to be here late? Like, I want to be here. This is what we do every Sunday. Like, or they'll be like, oh, what time do you think you're gonna be done? When we're done. Like, literally, like, that's just, you know, like what, you know, it's enjoyable for me at least. Like, and yeah, I would come early so I can get all the editing done, like, and like make sure everything is done being written. And, like, we have, like I said, like, putting together the photos and, like, yeah, like, even from last winter, like, we've improved a lot. Because, like, last winter, it was me, the designer, and the managing editor at the time was Emma. And even then, like, we still weren't very engaged. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, we were here probably till, like, 10, like, 5 to 10. But, like, we could have done way better back then. And this year has just, like, improved so much. Like, yeah, and, like, the energy here is, like, part of us being here late is probably because we're talking and having fun. But, like, that's just part of the group. And, like, that's really, like I said, like, a big part, one of the best parts of it. I mean, all the writers, like seeing their stuff in the print, all the photographers as well. I know you like when your photos are in there.
I was so happy when I had the front page.
So, like, you know, some people are saying that print is dying, but, like, what me and Casey said earlier is, like, if we're doing it, it's not dead yet. Like, we enjoy it. Like I said, like, I just feel like without that, like, it would be, like, not as enjoyable of an experience, like, working at the Echo. Like, for writers, even if you're not designing it, like, for writers who have it in there, for, like, campus, like, a lot of people, like, obviously, like, a lot of people don't read newspapers anymore, but, like, it's still part of, like, the experience of the Echo, so I think it's important. And, like, just to get it, like, we're the only IPSY paper, like, that's just covering IPSY. Yes. There is some other ones now, but not, like, just an IPSY paper. Yes. So it's definitely important, I think.
I know that I've seen times where we have the papers in, like, the eateries, and people are like, oh, this photo, or, you know, they're laughing at their friend because they look silly in the background. Yeah. I used to walk around. I still do it. I was like, hey, look at this photo. I took it. Or my name's in the paper or under the editor section. I'm like, look, that's me. And that's really nice to have that physical print to be able to just kind of throw around.
Definitely.
And if anything, it really looks nice of all the photos that I've taken, I put on my board.
Yeah.
So having the physical print is really nice.
Especially, like, the galleries, like, I like doing those. And yeah, like, I have, like, so many prints at home that I just have racked up, like, just from, like, the stuff my articles have been in. And, like, I mean, I give it to my grandpa and he puts it on the fridge, like, you know? Okay. Like, hey, do you guys want some Echoes? Like, they probably don't actually want any more, but, like, they still are excited that I am in it.
If you had one article to show your work in summarization, what would it be?
Oof. I honestly probably would choose something that I didn't write for the Echo. Okay. Is that fine? Yeah, that's fine. I would say that my favorite story I've done was the one for the Detroit Free Press, which was on this woman named Maha Mamo. Okay. And she was stateless, which means that she didn't have citizenship anywhere. Yes. And now she does. Like, she didn't have citizenship anywhere till she was, like, 30, and now she was living here with her wife, and I, like, went to meet them at a coffee shop, and, like, we had a long interview. It was, like, a super long story. Like, at first it was, like, 4,000 words, and I had to cut it to, like, 2,000. And, like, that was definitely, like, very impactful interview and, like, story, and, like, a big story. And I know it was, like, on the front page of the Free Press one day. like part of it. So that was really cool. And then also the paper that I just started working for. So I would think that was one, which is like a feature. And the paper that I just started working for, which is Between the Lines, they're like an LGBTQ paper.
Mm-hmm.
I did like a story on Black women in Detroit who basically, they're Black lesbian women who curate events for the lesbian community in Detroit, and that was really good too, and I'm really excited to like start writing more articles for them. Second one, the most recent one, this is my most recent article, is called Lesbian Women in Michigan Have a Space to Be Themselves thanks to these event curators, and this is at pridesource.com. But I definitely do feel like the Echo, I mean, I think everywhere and every person always has room to grow still, but like definitely I feel like the Echo has room to grow. I mean, like I wish I could do more, I wish I could have did more, but like I feel like, you know, I did a good amount, and I hope the next, I mean, I'm sure that all of you will still grow us a lot in the next couple years. But yeah, like you said, having more of a variety of stories will be great. We need more writers for that, so we're always looking for more writers, especially for news. But yeah.
Okay, and in regards to needing more writers, what are the things that the Echo needs, or could just do better with getting help from, or getting help with, sorry?
So, since we're a newspaper, the main thing we need is consistent, passionate news reporters.
Yes.
People that like really care about like writing passionately and like talking to people and like improving their work. I think that's important. You know, you have to care somewhat about what you're doing to like do it well. And you know, so I think that's the biggest thing is just news reporters. One thing that we talked about doing was we want to like cover Board of Regents meetings in Ipsy, because they used to do that. We would like to have someone that's like, you know, focused on that. And then like even like the Senate meetings on campus, like not every week, but like, you know, when there's big things, like that should be covered as well. So more stuff like what student government's doing, I guess. And then like, you know, just people that are like looking for news stories and like want to like are passionate about that, so that we're making sure that we cover everything going on around and we're able to like cover everything, like we have enough writers to do that. We also need sports reporters as well. We do have a good amount of opinions people, but that's probably the least important thing in the entire Echo. No, like I start as opinions, and like everybody wants to, because I mean like it's an opinion, so like it's easier in a way. Like I mean it's definitely valuable still, like to have like reviews and to like talk about certain things that are opinioned, but I definitely, you know, we need sports reporters for sure, people that are willing to, you know, go to the games and like talk to the coaches and like the players if possible, even though that can be difficult. But yeah, we need sports and news reporters. I think your team is pretty good. You need more people.
Yes.
Always.
Always. Especially, that's just the direction that I want to expand upon, add video and do like news packages. But that's a developing thing. I'm learning skills, so I have to learn a skill to be able to teach the skill, and I have to be able to do it confidently.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's something that you think was your pride and joy? Like the part that you added your stamp on the Echo?
That's hard, because like it's just like the energy. Like I don't know, like I would say like just the sense of community. Like, you know, like that used to be when I was a freshman, all the editors were like friends, and like they had like gatherings and stuff, and like I wasn't a part of that really because I just was a new writer.
Yes,
but,
a lonely opinions writer.
Yes, a little freshman doing freshman things, but like, you know, and then obviously COVID like took that away.
Yes.
And we barely had anybody like on staff at all. So I think just bringing that sense of community back, like I don't think that's like a big specific stamped pride and joy, but definitely that I would say like in general.
Yes, I can attest to that. The vibe of being able to make people want to be around and help out, like I said, especially for all the help that you provide to each member that like has requested it, and those that you've asked, like, is there something that you can help out with?
Yeah.
And I think that was like a key, valuable like moment, because it's like, it's not, if you don't enjoy the work's not going to be as beautiful as it can be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I try to tell everybody, like, you know, they're doing a good job because they are. And, you know, everybody has a part in, like, helping us grow and, like, doing their part and, like, creating that energy and vibe. And, like, also just, like, I want to help people with anything I can. Like, if they want to, I tell, like, all people on staff, like, if you have an idea that you want to talk to me about, like, please tell me. Like, you know, we obviously need news. We need, like, what we need. But, like, also if you have something you want to do, let us know. I told Aaron that recently, like, yeah, like, hey, is there anything else you want to do? Like, tell us, like, you can do it, like, whether it be a series or, like, a video thing or, like, whatever, a podcast they want to start, I don't know, but, I want people to be able to, like, have the creative expression in some way, like, apart from just what we need to do, and, like, feel comfortable coming to us with ideas.
Okay. And is there anything that you want to kind of leave, like the message and the quote? Kind of how we have Jay's quote. Can we get a soundbite of you reading Jay's quote?
I want one of those. Can Matt make me one?
Yes.
But I don't know what to say on it.
we can come up with one, but on the spot right now, if you got a quote. Mind you, look at the picture. We're going to find a picture like that somewhere.
I think it's like the one that I said earlier.
Okay.
Just like, and kind of definitely a lot of stuff that like the Echo alum Kevin Allen said at the banquet about like this generation of journalists are like, he believes that we can like, bring journalism back in a way, or like, make it more trustworthy.
Okay.
And like also what he said about like the Echo is your major, because like definitely have learned the Echo.
Yes.
Had more from the Echo than any class.
Okay.
But I mean, what I was saying earlier, what I said earlier that I was talking about is just like the part, like, if we're doing it, then it's not dead yet. But I don't like that quote, so I don't know what to say. I'm not good at coming up with quotes, but whatever you want to make up.
Don't worry, we're going to get a quote, and
anyway,
we're going to get a poster to hang in the room. So you have...
This is my second home, for sure.
That's a good quote.
King Hall has been my second home. It's been a place where I can just come do work or come chill or, come hang out with y'all. And also, so yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, just in my room. Anyway.
Yes. At least you'll be able to visit and help out.
Yes.
I know that there's some things that you can stick around and still help mentor the next generation of journalism.
Mm-hmm.
I know that that's a goal for people to be able to get to a level where they're able to educate. Mm-hmm. Would you say that you're interested in pursuing a level to become an educator or mentor?
I didn't think so until the last few weeks, but I do think so now.
You spoke about wanting to like be involved in curriculum or helping out with the development of helping teach journalists how to write. Can you elaborate on that thought?
Well, I was just kind of realizing, like, as I came to an end as editor-in-chief, I just had all these ideas coming to my head, like, oh, I should have did this, or like, I should like teach them all how to do this, or like stuff like that. Like, oh, I want to make like I was saying earlier, like I want to make like training things and like, kind of teach like kind of a workshop type vibe. Okay. But like something like that. And I was thinking like, I would be a journalism professor one day. Like, I don't think that's something like I would really want to do now, but like maybe when I'm older, if like I want to change or something. Okay. And then like I definitely like community type work. Okay. So even teaching in that type of setting. And then also I had a thought, which was, the curriculum part. Yes. So I feel like I was thinking as well that like a lot of majors have like senior projects, and we have a capstone class, which is like data journalism, where we do a group project, but like I do feel like that journalism majors, first of all, they should all be working for the Echo at some point, even if it's first semester. Like, you need experience. Like, it's already hard enough to get a journalism job, but like if you're not even trying,
applying to the one that's available, like
anybody can work for the Echo.
Yes.
So like you should definitely be taking advantage of that as an opportunity, especially if you're a journalism major. But I do think that which they're making requirement now for one credit. Yes. So that's the practicum. And I was thinking like, I was talking to Christine, our advisor, about that. Like, I think, in that, or like, in general, we should have like seniors, or like, even in that practicum, or just like as your senior project, you should have like, you have to work on this one like super intensive story, or you have to work on like 5 stories of each like subject, like 1 sports, 1 opinion, 1 news, like 1 breaking news, 1 like investigative story. Like, we don't really have any investigative stuff, and I think that's definitely something that we should add. Yes. 'Cause that's like something bigger that like is important. And then like just making sure that people know how to write each type of story that are in the journalism major, and that they have a period where they're able to work on a story that they're really passionate about. Okay.
So let's continue on with the future. Where are we going to be able to find Layla in the future, the near future and the further future?
Well, the near future, Like I mentioned earlier, I just started freelancing for pridesource.com.
Yes.
Their publication is called Between the Lines. They're an LGBTQ paper who's been around for like 50 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hope to freelance for them like as much as I can. Honestly, I really like their ideas. Their editorial director, he like interviews a bunch of celebrities, and he used to work for the Echo. He was a like entertainment editor for the Echo, and their assistant editor was the editor-in-chief. So like I reached out to them. I was like, hey, like I'd love to like work for you guys, and I didn't even know that, but they really like were just impressed because I work for the Echo, and they used to work for the Echo. So like that's like definitely brings you opportunities just to connect with like alumni and stuff like that. So I really definitely look out for me in Between the Lines and pridesource.com. Also, I'm going to be working as a deputy editor for Ground Cover News this summer, so that will be more so editing the stories, but I may also write. And I'm just definitely excited for that, working with them. They're a street paper, so that's what I was really like. I really liked what they're doing. So like a street paper, if people don't know, is like homeless people are their vendors. Ground Cover News is a nonprofit organization, and they're a street paper. So if you don't know what a street paper is, it's like where they pay homeless people to deliver their papers and vend their papers. So they buy them for like 50 cents, and then they sell them for $2. And there's a $10 or $15 edition that they buy for like $2 or $3. So that gives homeless people a job. They're also allowed to write for the paper. So I'm going to be working with them to like improve their writing. And I'm going to be editing their stories. And, like, the paper is, like, way more conversational than the Echo. So, like, you know, we don't do too much editing. We want it to be in their voice.
Yes.
So that's a big thing. Honestly, like, yeah, that's why I wanted to work with them, because I just like what they're doing. Also, because you told me that I should do it. And, like, I wasn't going to. You were like, it's experience. Why not? So thank you for that.
Experience is experience.
And, like, I was like, you know what? Maybe, like, I really like what they're doing. Like, let me just reach out. Maybe they'll, like, give me an actual position. So, like, they're giving me a semi-position just for the summer. But I think it will be good and give me experience in a different type of newspaper. So I'm doing those two things right now. I hope to get some other freelance work in probably a Detroit paper or something.
Okay.
And, like, honestly, through this job as editor-in-chief, it's kind of made me want to like have my own publication at some point.
Okay.
Which, you know, it can be difficult, but I mean, I'd like to do something in that realm at some point for sure. Just making my own thing so I can like kind of have freedom to do that again, because like in this position, like I mean, obviously there's guidelines we have to follow as a student newspaper, but I was able to have a lot of freedom with like doing what I want and implementing what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I'd really love to do. Specifically, if I could choose what it was about, it would be about like featuring, you know, local creative people.
Okay.
So it would be something like that. I can't think of the name. I keep trying.
But no, I understand what you mean. A lot of the artists in our fields, whether it's journalism or DPM majors, which working at the Echo allowed me to add journalism to my major, which I never thought I would have done that.
Yeah.
But I just love the investigation side and the documentary side.
Yeah.
But that one thing that you want to cover the most when making something, for me, I love to highlight things that wouldn't be highlighted. And as the aspect that you're explaining about the local artists, is that the same kind of, is that what you're...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, just with feature stories and, like, people, that's what me and Casey were actually talking about, like, because, like, Kevin Allen had told us that, like, feature stories are kind of dying, and, like, journalism, and they kind of are. Like, people just want you to write, like, quick news stuff. But, like, I met with this woman who's freelance for so many different Detroit papers. I met with her Friday for coffee, and she is doing feature stories, and, like, that's what I'm doing for Pride Source, and, like, I really hope that I'm able to do that. And, like, a lot of artists' dreams is to, like, have a collective of artists, you know, have a space where creatives can be. So, like, I think it would be cool to even have something, a publication that, like, went along with one of those. Like, a publication to go along with the artist collective.
Okay.
And then, like, build the collective in the paper through local creatives, like artists, musicians, fashion people, DJs.
What is the end goal? Publication, is there, so if it's not doing your own publication, what is the end goal? What is the final thing you do before you retire?
So it would be the publication.
Yes.
Or teaching.
Or teaching.
I would say probably college level.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I'll change my mind. But I would say like maybe probably college level or workshops or the publication or both in some way.
Okay.
But ultimately, I just want to be happy doing whatever it is I'm doing and financially stable. So as long as I'm happy and financially stable, that's the goal.
Okay. And then final destination, Michigan, out of Michigan?
You know, I don't know. Like, I do want to travel a lot. Like, I plan to go to, like, Europe and stuff next summer.
Yes.
I want to go to Jordan with Zena. I
Okay.
want to go like places with my friends who are from different countries, like where
Mhm.
they're from, and like. But yeah, definitely want to take a Europe trip, and I haven't been there, so who knows? Maybe I'll like want to move there, but I don't think I will, honestly. Like, I do want to travel a lot, but I do like Detroit. Like, I like the creative community there, like certain areas, like the young people areas. I like it every time I go to like the coffee shops or the clubs. I'm like, wow, these people are so cool. And so I probably like want to move to Detroit after Ipsy. I do like Ipsy, like with the, you know, there's more like water and parks here,
Okay.
which I like. But I mean, there's Belle-Isle. But I mean, so I do like that about Ipsy. So I'll be here for like another year and a half. But after that, definitely either moving to Detroit or somewhere else, or just traveling and with I don't know, being around the world.
Okay. What would you describe, like, how do you want the world to know your reflection?
I would say like my time in college has definitely, I have grown a lot since my freshman year.
Mhm.
Just like the choices I make as a writer, as like what I want to do in life. Like those couple things I just said, like I just decided that like the last month. Like really. I don't know. Like for me, I just want to, like I said, be myself and be able to be more confident in myself. And, like, I think that's happened over the past 4 years.
Okay.
But it could still improve. And, like, just being able to be more assertive.
Okay.
But I would say just, I want to connect with the community. That's a big thing.
Okay.
So that's a part of it. And, like, share my passion with other people, which could be done in any of those realms.
Okay. Can we just elaborate just a little bit more on your confidence level? How has that changed?
I mean, like I said, like, I was just a writer when I was, like, you know, a freshman, obviously. But, like, so becoming an editor, like, you know, you have to manage a team, which can be difficult at sometimes.
Yes.
So I would say just, like, you know, you have to tell people what to do. You have to, like,
Okay.
make choices and decisions for, like, the betterment of the publication,
Yes.
which I really enjoy doing. I mean, telling people what to do, sure. Sure. I mean, like, I really enjoyed, like, managing the team, and that can be difficult, especially for certain people.
Yes.
And, like, definitely, like, even, like, my first e-board meetings on Zoom, I was like, hey. But now I'm just like, hey, what's up? Like, this is what's going on. I don't know. So, like, I mean, just improving that, like, speaking, like, I don't know. But definitely that has improved, for sure.
Okay. And as we kind of wrap up the interview, are there certain people that you want to thank, or certain mentors that you want to give a shout out to from time growing up?
I want to thank my mom.
This Academy Award.
She is a great parent. And I want to thank all the editors at the Echo who have been very great this year. You,
Okay.
Marie, Vic, Casey. I'm not going to name them all because then I'm going to leave them out. But I like, you know, the editors, Christine. I love Christine. She's awesome, our advisor.
Yes.
So I would definitely say them. For my, like, college experience, I really enjoyed working with all of you, and you're going to take the Echo great places.
Okay. And any last kind of like statements you want to throw out there before we wrap up?
You know, I'm really sad. So I can't even, sorry. Anyway, you know, it's definitely sad to have a big change in my life because this is like probably the biggest part of my life. The Echo has been for like my whole college. But I'm ready to like pass it on to all of you, and I want to thank Eastern and the Echo for being this growing piece of my life, and I'm excited to move forward.
Can we get up? This is Layla McMurtrie signing off as Editor-in-Chief.
Oh God, yeah. All right, so this is Layla McMurtrie signing off as Editor-in-Chief of the Eastern Echo.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to the last episode of the Eastern Echo podcast for the winter semester.
Thank you.
Hey Layla, I want to say goodbye. I'm so glad that I got to catch you as your last semester as editor-in-chief. It was awesome. Like, you've been like the best. You've been super responsive. You even texted me to just get something finished with an article. It was super great. And I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate your style of managing us. And I'm gonna miss you a lot. So goodbye, Layla.
Bye, Layla. I'm gonna miss you. Thank you for everything that you've done for me. Good luck in your next step in life. Love you.
Goodbye, Layla. Thank you for helping me out and assisting me in my Echo duties. Have a good one.
Bye, Layla. It was great working with you. See you later, and this is good luck.
What's up, Layla? You already know what you do, Tone. You already know we already met each other my freshman year. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm just proud of you just to see the hard work you've been putting in since then. And I wish you the much love and success when you graduate. Much love.
Goodbye, Layla. I just wanted to say I appreciate all the hard work that you did for the Echo and for me personally. You've been here since I started, and you've been a great friend, you've been a great role model, and a great leader. You were probably the biggest part of me starting the sports podcast since you texted me and asked me if I wanted to start it. And I appreciate you for that so much, because the sports podcast has been probably one of the best things that's happened to me since joining the Echo. The most fun things since joining the Echo for sure. So I appreciate you for that, and I just appreciate all the hard work that you've done, everything you've done for the Echo. It doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Layla, for everything you've done here at the Echo, being such a welcoming person and being such a great friend. We all are so excited to see what you do next. That's fine.
Hi, Layla. I just want to say I appreciate you so much. You're the best boss ever. I think that you're so cool and you're so down to earth. And I appreciate every opportunity that you've given me. And I hope your future is bright. And I'm going to miss you so much.
Bye.